major international business event is coming to Pretoria this September. The Embassies Business Fair Conference 2025 will take place at the CSIR International Convention Centre on the 8th as well as the 9th of September, bringing together embassies, local businesses as well as global investors. With well over 40 embassies as well as $20 million expected in deals, the event then aims to assist African businesses grow by, of course, connecting them directly to the global markets. Now, organizers, they say it's more than just networking. It's about turning talks into real trade as well as investment opportunities. And to further impact this, let me extend a very warm welcome to the lovely Dr. Sindisiwe Mzamo, the event spokesperson as well as co-chair of the W220. So, Dr. Mzamo, what a great pleasure. Happy belated Women's Month. You look absolutely stunning as we, of course, embrace our Heritage Day and Heritage Month. So, talk to us firstly about the role of embassies, specifically in the current time, and then the context of Africa, Doctor.
Well, I'd like to say good evening and good afternoon to your viewers at home. This is really exciting for us because if we're talking about economic diplomacy and looking at the bilaterals that South Africa has signed with over 140 countries that are in the country, and also if you look at the role of AfCFTA, the Africa Free Trade Continental Agreement, it becomes very important and pertinent that we've got to have to actually make sure that we trade amongst each other, and hence the Embassies Business Fair and Conferencing, because we need to actually make sure that we up the game and invite our African brothers and sisters to actually look at the real trade, because if you look at AfCFTA, it's the largest World Trade Organization globally. And we are talking about a population of 1.4 billion people in the continent. And if you look at even the statistics as well, looking at the way forward on how we're going to be able to actually work together. And I like what AfCFTA has done. They chose about 4 sectors, which is agriculture, which is agriculture, transport and logistics, pharmaceuticals, and making sure that, you know, Africa and manufacturing as well, and making sure that Africa comes very strongly on these 4 sectors, because you can't talk about intertrade if the aviation sector is not working. You can't talk about trade if roads that are connecting the member states are not working. And the Embassies Fair is actually focusing on those critical issues, but also above that, we are actually looking at small, medium enterprises, because small, medium enterprises are at the center of the economy of Africa. And we need to actually make sure that they're given an opportunity. Oh yes, the SU20 is actually participating fully. They're coming guns blazing. And even the chair of SU20 is going to be participating. And this is what we want to see, that small businesses in Africa connecting amongst each other, doing business amongst each other. So this is why I'm really excited about the Embassies Business Fair. But what is more exciting, we have our Africa Head of Mission, Din, His Excellency Andren Zapayeka. He's coming, the ambassador himself. He's actually going to be opening up the plenary for us, and we have the Deputy Minister of Small Business in the country, and he's also coming on the first day. And then we have Madame Her Excellency from the ambassador of Tunisia. He's also going to be opening up on the plenary session. We have our dearest sister from Namibia, who is going to be able to actually drive the narrative of actually Namibia Investment Board. He's also one of the plenary speakers, and also looking at the G20. So if you look at G20 says Africa is at the center of G20 deliberations. And this is a platform that we're creating for embassies to showcase that G20 is really the center of the deliberations. But also at the same time, if you look at the participation, South African government is participating, entrepreneurs are participating, embassies are participating, Gauteng province is participating. This is the collaborative effort on the road to G20.
And very perfectly timed, I suppose, Doctor. I mean, we are currently grappling with US tariffs at 30%, and there has been widespread calls for the diversification of South African trade, and there has been word as well as advice to start looking between our African intra-trade partners. Now, this conference starts tomorrow, Doctor. what discussions will be on the agenda? South Africa is currently in dire need of a bold new approach to international relations in order to succeed in a globalized world.
Well, this is a very good question. And Africa, it's time that we must wake up. This is a call to action.
African solutions for African problems.
Solutions by Africans themselves.
Yep.
So this is the agenda that we're putting into the table, that we can do it better. Africa can rise on its own. Africa can build infrastructure, but we need to be united as Africans.
Absolutely.
But also the call to action, which is very important. We are saying beyond borders. Let's trade beyond borders. That emphasis of trading beyond borders, there's nothing stopping myself, for example, to trade with Namibia, to trade with Lesotho, to trade with Botswana. And now we need to make sure that we identify what Botswana wants maybe in the agriculture sector. Then we produce that for Botswana. And these are the engagements, because bilaterals are there. But what we need to do is now we need a think tank that would say, Botswana is off-season, for example, in potatoes. South Africa can grow these potatoes.
So a specialized focus in terms of seasonal trade as well.
Because barter trade was very important. But we've got to have to bring it back, but on the seasonal trade, on how we do it, and we do it smart.
Absolutely, Doctor.
And also to look at the critical infrastructure on health and education. Those are the critical things. Remember, we are actually sitting at about over 70% of our population is young people.
True.
But if you look at our education system, it doesn't talk to the young people that we want to build for the future.
True.
So now there's a reorganization as well in the education panel that you're going to have. Let us actually have an education system that speaks to the future of Africa. My child must be able to actually go to a university that will be able to actually take him after he finishes the university, because it's about the future. It's not about just getting in and doing a degree. So the curriculums of all universities in Africa must change.
All right, Doctor. We're going to leave it there. You and I could go on and on, especially when it comes to grassroots level type of education as well as training. Doctor, good luck for the summit. Thank you so much for talking to us this afternoon, and best of luck with that particular initiative. That is Dr. Sindisiwe Mzamo, the co-chair of the W20, on the role of embassies that will be, of course, in sharp focus on the upcoming Embassies Conference taking place in Pretoria as of tomorrow until the 9th.